Mr. Derry here. We're going to cover making sure that we save our tool paths correctly. So I have a student project here that I want to just go over with you, the process of exporting the tool path. So we have our file, and over here you can see that I have a series of tool paths. And I'm just going to click these boxes just to remind us that this actually shows where the tool bit is going to travel on our material. And we're going to start with the clock pocket to begin with. The first thing I want to do is make sure that we've named it properly. So it's going to be 0.5 inch straight bit clock pocket. That's a reasonable name. You could say 0.5 bit, something that indicates the diameter of the bit should be in the name and what the tool path is. Now, some of you, before you commit to this, make sure that you've got your clock where you want it. I noticed that some folks, they kind of had their clock just not located in a good position, and they were ready to import. So export rather, before you do that, make sure your clock is where you want it to be. And if you do make a subtle adjustment, let's say for example, I really want this to be up a little bit. Notice that my tool path doesn't match. And I can go over here and I can go to recalculate, and you'll see that it now identified that and move it to the right location. So if you do make any movements of any of your tool paths, if you move some of your artwork around, you're going to see that that stuff doesn't line up anymore. You may need to recalculate, and that's really important that your tool path matches your artwork. Okay. Another important item. I'm going to double click on this and I'm just going to check my work. So the depth right here is 5/8 of an inch. I have a 1/2 inch straight bit, and my bit is traveling at 1 inch per second, 0.5 for the plunge, and you can have 12,000 or 14,000 RPMs. That's fine. Your step over could be 1/4 of an inch. It could be 0.25. Either way is fine. All right. If you have any question, ask, because this is where we're going to break bits or ruin your project. So we've located our tool path. We've checked our tool path. The next thing to do is to save our tool path. So I'm going to deselect these, and notice that this tool path is in bold. That's the one that I have selected. I'm now going to go to save, and I'm going to hit save tool path. I'm going to add to this name though, because I want it to be my tool path. So I'm going to put my name in front of it, and I'm going to save it to my clock project folder right here. Hit save. I also want to save that tool path, that very same tool path, into the student share, into the Derry folder, into clock, into 0.5 bit. So again, make sure your name is on it. All right. If it's not, like this person right here, I have no idea whose clock pocket that is. We're going to have to delete that one. These are all saved correctly. All right, so you're going to save it to that folder. Next up, in the next video, I'm going to cover the V-carve